Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner. How is everyone doing? Happy Sunday to all of y'all around here, okay? I've had an eventful weekend, so we're going to get into the Love and Marriage Huntsville, the season 10, episode 6. Martell Me No Lies. And I'm like, first of all, y'all know Martell a liar, so that ain't going to happen, okay? But we're going to discuss it nonetheless. Now, I put on subscriber-only chat because I have recognized and realized recently that whenever I have a Love and Marriage Huntsville review, it means some stragglers around here who I don't know, who be having a whole lot to say. And I'm like, I don't even know y'all, okay? So because I feel like if you want to come around here and bother us and bother me, I need you to be a subscriber. You can't come to the comment section no more being a Maurice or Marceau or Kimmy or Tisha supports her trying to be a whole, you know what I'm saying, Scott gang. If you're not a subscriber, okay, you have to pay to get in these days, okay? Anyway, I hope everyone had a great weekend. I had a good old time, child. I was at a work event. I was also at my school's 25th year high school reunion this weekend or whatever, and I am tired, okay? I barely got myself together today to come here at 4:30, well, 4:48, because I was tired, okay? I needed a nap and whatnot, but I am here, okay? Please make sure to do what? Like the video, okay? Like it, please, and thank you. Also, subscribe to the channel, not only to comment, but because, you know what I'm saying, you should. I suggested it's a good time over here, okay? I have not been live since Wednesday, okay? That was not my plan, but here we are. Look, I'm here. I don't look rough, but I feel rough, okay? I had to throw on my little kimono because I don't like putting clothes on, okay? My hair's not done. Try to see this little, I say, girl, put a headband on and call it a day, girl, because I am tired. And when I get off of this live, I'm going back and getting to bed and I'm relaxing or whatever to, recoup the energy I spent this weekend with the peoples. Because look, okay, cool little thing. So it was my 10-year anniversary at my job. I've been there 10 years. And that our company picnic was Friday. A good time having all outside in the elements or whatever, having to be real nice and real polite to all the people. And it takes. I am not a person who likes to be around a whole bunch of people at one time. Like, give me about 20 people, maybe 30. I'm good. Once it's 31 and up, I'm like, oh no, I don't want to do it. Okay, I don't. It's too much. And we have over 400 employees at my employer. Okay, and so it was a company, a whole, all the COOs, CFOs, all the season O's. Okay, all management, all IT, all the worker bees here and there. It was everyone. Okay, and I said, this is a lot to deal with. Okay, but I'm here, so that was a whole bunch of energy for me for Friday. And then yesterday was the day party for my 25th high school reunion. And child, it was drinking and smoking. And I have not been around marijuana smoke in at least 15 years because no one I know smokes weed. Okay, at least not around me. Okay, I know some folks popular edible here and there, whatever, but no one I know smokes. I don't smoke weed or whatever, so I have not been around weed shop in a long time. And even though we were on a rooftop at the day party, the marijuana smoke was all up in here. Okay, I can't move from my seat, and it was still all up in here. So I for sure had a contact the high of it all, and I was feeling it this morning and last night, child, and I was like, I gotta go. But a good time was had this weekend, and whatnot. But we are here now for this. But hello to y'all. Okay, hello to the people or whatever. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for being around here and whatever. I was going to go live for a gossip chat, but I don't have the energy. I don't. Okay, we're gonna see what's gonna happen later on. I'm not sure yet. Okay, but we here today. Good time. We'll be having all. Okay, don't worry about if you hear live or replay. I appreciate all of y'all. Okay, and yes, now I also want y'all to know again. I put on the subscriber only chat because if you are not a subscriber, you don't have the right to come around here and say nothing to me. Okay. And that's mainly the Scott supporters who be in the comment section, child, just clicking. If you want to click with me, subscribe. Okay. I don't care if you subscribe today and then unsubscribe, whatever. A click in the view. But hi to y'all. Look, I used to love Kimmy. I did. Kimmy was my girl. But this season, well, this is in a bit of last season too. Kimmy has been showing her less than likable self, and I don't know why. And I don't know if Kimmy has changed or if we're just finally seeing the real Kimmy. I don't know which one it is because the Kimmy from seasons like 1 and 2, whatever, she wasn't so quiet, so more. Okay, I'm gonna sit back. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna let Maurice talk his shit. I'm not gonna defend myself. I'm gonna say, well, that's not Maurice saying. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's weird to me. Okay, I don't like it. Yeah, I was surprised when people was started. I mean, multiple people just started rolling blunts. And I was like, where am I? Is that weed? It's I said, what is going on, child? And to see multiple, I was like, oh, a lot of y'all smoke. Okay. See y'all in 25 more years. See, I was, and I couldn't escape it. And if I would have went inside, it was the inside and outside part, but most of us was all outside. It was too loud on the inside. I don't even know where. Yeah, I was like, oh Lord Jesus. I don't know. But yeah, Kimmy's a fool. Kimmy aggravates me. Kimmy's been more aggravating recently. And I don't maybe again, it's just weird. It's weird. And I don't understand it. Okay. But yeah, let's get into the stuff right, y'all. Again, if y'all watching live or replay, like and subscribe and all that stuff. So I forgot. Wait a minute. Because I downloaded my graphics the wrong way. So, and I don't know why I did it, because I told myself I didn't want to be off camera. Hold on. This is a good thing about being your own graphics person. When you make a mistake and you put the wrong graphic in, you just put the right one in, child. But that give you more time to do what? Like the video. Okay, and subscribe and whatnot. Because give me about a good 10 seconds and that should be it to pull it up. Because I did not want to do the whole split screen at first. I said, well, child, let the people see the people's face. Because some of y'all don't watch the show. And I like giving the graphics of it all for y'all to see faces and places. So, okay, now we good. Because I'm like, how did I put the wrong thing in here? Okay, you weren't paying no attention. You weren't paying no attention. Okay, boom, now we have it. So, boom, pow, and the pow. So, the episode picks up right where it left off last week with Tisha and dang-on Nell. Now, I know Nell can be messy. And Nell can sometimes overstep. And but what I appreciate about Nell is, again, Nell will always be there for the confrontation. She don't back away from the confrontation, the conversation, or whatever needs to be handled. And I like that because it holds her accountable, and she wants to hold the other folks she's talking to accountable. Whereas Tisha, little Bell, Tisha left at the end of the last episode. I'm not, girl, good, go home. Go home, little girl. We then see, because Nell still sitting there, child, drinking her coffee. And we see Tisha boys back up. Well, if I would have left and stayed on, then it would have been even worse. It would not have been. You want to know why? Because you don't handle stuff face to face, okay? We go home, complain to Marcel. Well, girl, shut up, okay? You didn't have a reason to leave in the first place, in my opinion. I think Tisha left. Carlos or whoever called her and said, girl, you leave, you get no check. Okay? You don't have the power. You don't have the bandwidth. You don't have the seniority to leave a scene. We still trying to make up for Mel being gone. Okay? We can't have any of y'all leaving scenes. Either sit there and get cussed out and then leave, but you can't get up and leave without having whatever conversation that you're supposed to be there to do. I think Tisha felt like, I am the ABIC now. I run things now. And so I can leave if I want to. And someone called her and said, no, ma'am. Because we've seen her leave before. And she would leave and be gone. Because before, they would just depend on whoever else to, have more story. But they don't have that luxury this season. You know what I'm saying? I know folk don't want to admit it, but Mel was the draw. She was. Like her or hate her, Mel was the draw. Because of nothing else, that we're going to complain about Mel and Martell or something along the line. And they don't have that in their back pocket anymore. Okay? No one cares about Destiny. No one cares about Martell. So you can't believe it. We kind of still don't care about Trisha and Ken because the ex-husband gone. So y'all don't have enough castmates for anyone to leave a scene without handling things, okay? And her kind of scurrying back in the scene. I just want to talk about it. You said, now because I don't want nobody here and blah, 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 blah. Girl, you was a child. You stormed away now she looked gorgeous, okay? Nell looks gorgeous. Tisha looks gorgeous. Two beautiful black women, okay? Outfits cute, hair cute, makeup cute. Y'all look cute. However, Tisha acts like a toddler. Okay, when she's drunk, she's a drunken toddler, and when she's sober, she's a sober toddler. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, girl, sit down and check Nell if need be. Okay. Now I came back because Carlos said I need my check. But now you was yelling, don't yell at me, you know what I'm saying? I had PTA meetings here. Okay. We need to be respectful, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Shut up. One, Nell was not yelling. Nell was matching Tisha's energy. And Tisha not used to that because on this show, Tisha be scurrying away. But Nell said, okay, if you raise your voice a little bit, I'm gonna raise mine. And not even raise her voice in volume. She raised her voice in tone. She matched Tisha's tone. And Tisha felt like, I'm the queen bee. How dare you speak like me? And Nell said, bitch, I'm here too. What makes you think I can't match your energy? What makes you think I'm not going to respond to you how you responded to me? I didn't yell at you. I didn't fuss. I didn't cuss or nothing. I'm not your child, so you can't tell me what to do. I talk how I talk, and I'm all up and through. Okay, so let's have a conversation. I didn't care that much at all because she then went into, well, I feel like I've been dealing with rumors about my marriage or whatever, about myself cheating. I'm tired of the comments. Everybody comes to me with bullshit about my husband cheating on me or whatever. And the rumors have caused issues in my marriage, okay? And I don't get why these rumors, these conversations, these insinuations, these assumptions of me and my soul won't go away. You want to know why they won't go away, Tisha? Because you and your husband have never directly addressed them. Marceau jokes about it. Okay, Marceau jokes about it, which makes folks feel like he had something, and then Tisha, you avoid it. My husband would never cheat on me, girl. Bye. Every woman who is every person who's ever been cheated on always feel like, well, it would never happen to me. My person loves me. You know what I'm saying? So the reason it keeps going is because you have not addressed it. Marceau always makes a joke about it. Your mama was also asking cheating questions as well. So folks feel like if your mama asking questions, don't that mean it's something? Okay? And because you and Marceau will never just have a truthful, hard-hitting conversation about whatever it is that happened. It does not even have to be that he cheated. It can just be the accusation of him cheating cause issue. Because we know it hit your ego and it hit your self-confidence. And it's okay to admit that. It's okay for us to see you feel insecure that people would even think he would cheat on you. We want to see him reassuring you how much he loves you and he wants to be with you. But we ain't seen that. When you go that man crying, oh my God, my mama said they saw you in Atlanta. And some lady had a picture of your back in the bed. And I was in Atlanta with Chris. We never see him fully surround Tisha with the support that she needs, when we know Tisha is a beautiful woman but an insecure soul, and she holds on to, but not my man and not my marriage. He wasn't there. He could, and even if he did, that does not make you any less of who you are. And you trying to deny it keeps the conversation in the same place that it probably happened and she don't want to admit to it. When in hindsight, yes, I thought he cheated on me, but I ain't found no proof. Yes, I questioned him, but I ain't found no proof. Yes, folks said he cheated, but ain't no one give me no proof. Okay, that's what she should have been saying. And that way it's showing that she's not ignoring the shit. She's taking it head on. Yep, I heard it and questioned him and did and do, and we still get together. If he was cheating on me, at least his mistress ain't come out pop out no baby. Girl, look, I would be like, yep, I thought he was, but I couldn't find no proof. Because my man's mistress ain't never went on social media and showed this and that and that's gonna toss mail under the bus. But again, that's what I would have done. And left it at that. Okay. Now, Tisha then says, Nell had cheated in her marriage. I don't see how she doesn't know how it feels. I think she do know how it feels. And I think Nell sees a lot of her in you. I think when Chris was first cheating, I think Nell probably did not want to accept it until, boom, proof. I think that's why Nell feels you're not being transparent. Because she can see herself in you. So it's crazy that Tisha thinks that we are stupid and she's a smart one. Again, people cheat, people forgive. You know, people cheat and then find out, but you can't joke about it and think that's gonna make folks say, "Oh well, you know, Marcel was innocent." He's not, because any true husband would have. Because after all these years, I'm going to go ahead and nip it in the bud. Look, I have never cheated on my wife. Never. Have I ever thought someone else was cute? I have. Has she ever felt like I was unfaithful? She has. And we dealt with that. Even the fact that they say on, I think they said on their IG live, they've been a counseling. Why ain't they mentioned that one time here about counseling? Because if your man ain't cheating and ain't no issue, why you in counseling? So that's a part of y'all not being transparent. That y'all will say shit on IG, on your IG page, on IG live, or in stories or whatever, but y'all get on the goddamn show. We great. My hair great, my outfit great. What about the marriage? When you saw a picture of that bald man back, you can't tell me your heart did not skip a beat. How did you move past that? That's a part of being trapped. But I'm stopped. Because teach a liar. Okay? Because when she said verbatim, the rumors have caused issues in my marriage. We have never had that conversation. We ain't seen you have that conversation with your mama, with your husband, with Kimmy, hell, with Mel, with Nell, with Destiny, with anybody. That's that part of being transparent. The show is called Love and Marriage Huntsville. Bitch, what about the marriage? Okay, so Nell does. So I can give you some grace. You know, you've opened up to me a little bit more. You're saying you've been a bit more transparent, so I get it. Okay, you met me halfway. Cool, fine. We're gonna move past that. You know, they a little bit talk about the mentorship or whatever. I forgot all about that when Nell said she was like mentoring Tisha. Nell be using the wrong words sometimes. Okay, Nell be saying mentorship because she talked to people, anybody, whatever, and she could be talking to folks about things that she went through when she was whatever, and so she feel like she's mentoring people. Nell, stop using that word. But she said, I should have just used friendship or was getting to know each other, but I am a certified life coach. I said, girl, I can see Nell being a life coach. I can. Not mine, but I can see how on a regular day she can give some good advice. She can. But when Tisha said, who gave her that diploma? If she a life coach, I'm a PhD. Tisha, shut up. Just stop. It's just don't be no hater. Not today, not ever. We see a little scene with Kimmy and Maurice. Okay, Kimmy and Maurice at their office doing nothing because we still don't know what Kimmy do, and we still don't know what Maurice does. Okay, I think Kimmy sells houses. We don't see her sell none or broker none or like make a deal. Okay, we don't see them. We never see them meeting with clients, a prospect, any builders. The fact that Marcel is supposedly building out like they're a building for them, we ain't even seen that. So Kimmy Marie just be in their office, child, on the computer playing Sudoku. Is it Sudoku or Sudoku? So I taught myself how to win Sudoku. Anyway, They be at the office shop playing Sudoku, playing solitaire, child on their computer and whatnot. Because where are the clients? The buyer, the seller, the people in law. Okay, where is Maurice's law firm buddies? Where's the law clerk? Okay, where are like Maurice? Who do you pay to deliver the lawyer files to court? Where the goddamn courier? Anyway, they were talking, okay, and Maurice like, hey, I want to meet up with Martell. And I said, look, if nothing else, they're gonna use Martell for a storyline. Because what's the most we can do? Deflect the delusions and the deceptions away from us. So I want to meet Martell because I'm worried about him. He's spiraling. I'm like, you know what's weird? We saw Martell do more sadistic, dysfunctional, horrible stuff to Mel. No one felt like me with Martell saying, Martell, you're spiraling. Like no one thought to go tell Martell to stop. When we saw all the stuff that he was doing, that he was allowing his baby mama to do to Mel, no one cared then. At that point, y'all thought Mel was the one doing too much. But all of a sudden, because they called out one mistress that y'all all fucked, now all of a sudden, Martell is going too far. He's doing too much. Okay, we don't like it. He's spiraling. Oh my God, his mental health. What about Mel, her kids' mental health? When Martell was around there antagonizing the people. Oh, well, no one cares then. Oh, no, let's let him be. Okay, y'all saw Martell digging a hole in his own family. And no one thought, hey, let's care about his mental health now. Let's try to help him. No one cared then. But now, oh, Lord, we have to save Martell because he is an innocent man. Okay, we can't have him out here losing it all.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's weird.
Because it didn't just start. It wasn't just today at all. Okay, but no one wants to admit that. No one wants to admit that. That no one, not Kimmy, not Tisha, not Destiny, Marceau, or well, I'm gonna give Maurice Marceau a pass because Marceau don't care in general. Okay, Marceau just don't care at all. So I'm not gonna say him or whatever. But Maurice himself, fake ass MLK, who always wants to give these speeches, he's spiraling, and I just don't think this is who he is. He was a great person. And Kimmy said, Martell has always been this way. Whenever he's embarrassed, whenever he's angry, whenever he's upset or annoyed, this is who he has always been. But Kimmy, when Martell were cheating on Mel, and you refused to call coleslaw, refused to refer to her the side chick, a side piece, you said Martell's a great guy. Oh, he's a great guy. Now you saying, oh, he's always been this way.
Shut up! That is so stupid.
Then what was happening when he was doing it to Mel? Y'all was giving Martell the grace of God when he was taking Mel through hell publicly, on the show, on social media. Y'all gave that man all the grace as he reigned upon chaos, hell, disillusions of marriages, breaking of the families, all this the bullshit he reigned upon that thing. And no one felt he was a bad person then. The fact that man had a baby on his wife, and y'all had the balls, Kimmy had the ball to say, Martell's a great guy. He's a great guy. But he said that your husband was trying to fuck up some hooker, well, not a hooker, a harlot, okay? Your husband and his brother was fucking some lady Now you want to say, oh, that's always how Martell has been. He's always been that way. Since today or since yesterday? Since yesterday or since 2-3 years ago? Because what is always? Because now y'all hoes looking hypocritical. Okay, now you heifers is looking horrible because y'all now wanting to throw Martell up under the bus to defend your husbands, who y'all say is innocent. But when you saw the lies and the BS that he put on Mel, y'all had nothing to say. Okay. So again, I don't know at what point Kimmy was being fake and fucking fool. I don't know which part Kimmy was being fake. However, her colors are showing. She's not a girl's girl at all. It makes me wonder, was Kimmy really fucking Maurice while he was fucking his wife? Like at some point, was Kimmy a sad piece? I'm just wondering. Because you were supportive of Martell when he was dealing with a side piece. But you're not supportive of Martell now that he's saying that your husband and your brother-in-law was fucking with somebody else. It's weird to me, okay? Well, Maurice then says, well, have you ever thought to look at things from Martell's point of view? Bitch, what? Again, everyone is fighting to save Martell. Oh, we have to help Martell. Oh, Martell. Because I like to say, have you ever thought to look at things from his view? And Kimmy said, well, I always did. I gave him grace all this time, and she did. Everyone on this show except Chris and Nell. And maybe just Nell. Just Nell. Never gave Mel the support she needed and just not believing Martell's bullshit and not defending Martell. And now they all want to say, okay, well, now Martell's the villain. He's always been the villain. Y'all just wasn't his prey, and y'all didn't care. Plus, if all this time is about Mel and Martell on the show, no one has to question us and what we got going on. And now that Mel's gone, and now that Mel does not allow them to speak her name, if you recognize when they show scenes that Mel was in, they won't show Mel. No one says her name. Even on the podcast, the Karla Pace podcast, which we're going to get to in a second, no one says her name. I think Mel said, bitch, I am done. Y'all can't use me anymore. Don't name me. Don't show me. Don't pick up me. Leave me be, bitch. Okay. But Kimmy admitting to, I gave Martell grace this whole time. Okay. And Maurice is saying, well, I think Martell feels like he has to defend himself. He's on the defense because, oh, it's us against him. He's defending himself or whatever. I'm saying that Martell used to be the nicest guy of all of us. You know, all the women would say to us before, y'all should be like Martell. That Martell was helpful at home. He was helpful with his wife. He was the perfect husband, you know, and y'all kept telling us, be more like Martell. So Martell was the nicest guy of all. No, Martell was a liar. Martell used the cover story of, I am a great husband. I'm here for my wife. I help the kids. He did all of that so that no one would think he was out there having a full-fledged affair with someone else. And if he's always at home helping the kids, helping Mel, and all that, if he's gone I want to go on a little vacation, I want a couple hours away. No one questioned it because he was so hands-on as a father and as a husband. And if they never got on the show, he would have kept lying and having the whole affair, and no one would have ever known. So the whole thing about, he was this great person that we all thought was great. It was a cover. It was a cover. You know what I'm saying? And the whole thing it makes it seem, oh, but who he is now. He's always been this person. And that's just what it was. But I'm leaving it be. You know, and Kim, like, you keep talking to Martell. You give me speeches all the time. You encourage him, and he say, okay, like he will listen to you. Okay, Maurice, you right, Maurice, but each time nothing changes. You keep giving him MLK speeches, and he never changes. He just gets worse and worse and worse. And now he threw you under the bus. Okay, now you around here being accused of banging that lady or whatever, and I look dumb because she does. And she's like, I don't think that he respects you how you think he does. But Maurice feel like when I talk to Martell, he listens. And she's like, no, he doesn't. He connects you to Marcel because y'all are brothers. He thinks of you as Marcel's defense lawyer, his brother. You defend your brother all the way to the bone. So he does not really respect you how you think he does. In your face, he say, yeah. But in hindsight, it's the opposite. He don't respect you, and he doesn't, because Martell does not respect anyone, not even himself. And I think folk ignore that because when you are not his target, they don't care. If you not his target, he doesn't care. And that's really what it's always been. If Martell is aimed at anyone else, they let it fly because they are then it's still a show, and they can then discuss whatever he's done, and no one discusses them. And now that's not anymore. But Kimmy then said how Martell always told us and complain about y'all, saying y'all don't do enough as husbands and fathers to deserve to be catered to. That he always said y'all was not this, y'all was not that. And compared to him. So again, that means would y'all ever friends? Because why would your friends say that you're a punk ass daddy and a punk ass husband? But the fact that but none of this came out before now. You know why? Because they did not want to be the butt of any jokes. Because if years ago he kept on saying y'all not good husbands, y'all not good fathers, we didn't know that. I mean, we saw that, but whatever. And Kimmy said since Martell has lost his family, he thought y'all did not deserve a family. He thought y'all did not deserve wives and children and to be catered or whatever. So Martell felt like he lost his family. We did not deserve our families. Okay, we still have our families, and so he feels it's unfair. So to me, Kim, you're trying to say Martell wants to break up other families because he lost his own. And to me, that is a sidestep deflection addressing what is happening in y'all's marriage. Martell, to me, is not attacking these folks' marriages. I feel like it's conversations that should be had, because if Martell felt like, well, Maurice ain't even a hands-on father or a husband. Kimmy, you told us you felt like he wasn't a good hands-on father to Jalen. Marcel was more of a father to Jalen. Why have we not discussed any of that? But again, trying to blame Martell and say Martell wants to break up our families is a sidestep deflection away from, well, what's going on in y'all marriage? Do y'all have date night? Who watch Monitor for y'all on date night? Do Kimmy still not have a sex drive? Because that was a big thing. How is Kimmy in remission? Does Kimmy go to any breast cancer survivor meetings? Does Maurice go to any lawyer advocacy meetings? Is he in a brothers group? Do y'all have any conversations about how y'all feel about each other? No. Is the only time y'all meet and talk is to talk about Martell or Marceau or the mistress? Like, why are we not seeing any of those child? Anyway, can we tell him, like, look, I think you having a conversation with Martell is a waste of time. Okay? Because he would never respect you enough for your words to matter. And Martell really only listens to people he respects, and he doesn't respect you. So you wanted to go talk to him is a waste of time, okay? You could have really spent the time with Monster, okay? Your time can better be spent with your son than Martell. And Maurice said, I'm going to go spend time with Maurice. I'm going to go spend time with Martell. Because Martell, look, do I think Maurice loves kids? Sure. Sure. However, he prefers to spend time fucking with Martell. You know why? Because Martell probably knows at least one body is buried. Okay. Now we see Tisha and Marcel have a little meet up at the house. Now look, child, Tisha showing us her and their daughter. It was a 13-year-old daughter, I think it was, that was around there. And you know, they had that hair care line. I think is it called Mila and Micah? Really, Mila some damn body. I can't remember which one. But Tisha is trying doing little girl hair. Oh, okay, you gotta put your stuff on social media. The oldest daughter's 13. I don't know how old the other one is, but Tisha wants us to believe that I am tired of having to run the social media for their hair care line, and I think I need them to step up, okay, and be more responsible because it's their business, and they are on social media more than I don't like when parents have their kids, because I don't think for 1 second the girls, mommy, we want a hair care line, because the girls never quite seemed interested like that or whatever. So part of me feel like the teacher just used that as a fun. And now that the daughter is, because the daughter's at least 13, and now that she's, at least 13 years old, okay, you need to be the one that promotes it, that talks about it on social media, that, gets attention for whatever it is. I'm like, I don't think the girl cared. I think it was fun while it lasted. I think it was like, okay, mama said it'll be something new and cool or whatever, and we can make a couple of dollars and whatnot. But like, no tea, no shade. No tea, no shade. I have never seen anyone post that they bought a product that I have not even seen Tisha post the stuff. So I'm like, well, is it a real brand? Okay, because it's the daughter, okay, that she's talking to, whatever. And I do think it's good that they want to have some kind of family business. I do think it's good she wants to teach the girls how to, be, self-employed, self-sufficient individuals. Okay, that's who I mean. However, I feel like does the daughter want? Does she want that? Is that what she wants? Because she don't seem to, and we didn't see the other little girl, and I don't know if that's what she wants. So I was like, girl, fine, but it's a beautiful little girl, look, beautiful young woman, beautiful confessional look. Okay, I think she looked like she's a true mixture of her mama and her daddy. Because she do look like her mama, but I also see a little bit of my son there too, but a beautiful young lady. Okay, so they gonna have that child. Cause yeah, that line they did where it was child stormy stuff with the different labels and whatever, and I don't think I've seen anyone post about nothing since then. So is it even the thing? Let's go to Tisha page. Tisha, is your kids' product still being sold in stores or sold out your backyard off the table? Let me see. Well, on her page, let's see, she has a link tree. Let's see what the link tree say. Link tree is the Mila, Macy and Mila. Okay, let's see, Macy and Mila. It has a website. It do, indeed. Bubblegum Bliss, Glow Up Galore. I want this stuff. I know. Bubblegum Bliss costs $35. Whatever Glory costs $45. Child, if y'all want to go buy it. Hey, if y'all, all y'all folk who like the Scots and stuff, if y'all like them, let me share. I'm gonna share. Y'all not trying to be nice and share stuff with y'all. So y'all can't say I'm a hater. Hold on. It's the real website. Mm-hmm. They got 15 products. Mm-hmm. They got some nail polish and turquoise and like pink and purple and yellow. Okay. We got some $19 conditioner, some growth balm for $15, some hair oil for $19, moisture mist for $19, moisturizer lotion for $15, and then shampoo is $19. They got some mugs shop for $15. So yeah, hopefully, child, somebody will buy something. I'm not gonna buy nothing. That's what I do. But I don't these people. But if you want something, you go to the Macy and Mila website. Cause they said, we want this. Now these is old pictures. Okay, because them kids ain't that age more. But yeah, I did my due diligence. I did. And that's enough of that. But yeah, she was the girls. I said, girl, if you said so. So they talking now because the girl done left. Okay, so Tisha brings up how she met with Nell, and it looked like it. Not y'all don't want it. I guess so. I don't want it either. I use Pat and Mute. Anyway, so Tisha brings up how she met with Nell. Okay, I was meeting with Nell at the coffee shop, child, and she got loud with me and was raising her voice at me and yelling at me. And I said, don't yell at me. And I left because I was upset. I was mad. I left, but I came back. I came back. And we sat and talked or whatever. And but again, Tisha lying. Because Tisha make it seem as if Nell got a buck with her. Ain't no Nell, just match your energy. She matched your tone. She matched your whole demeanor. And you can take it. Okay, so Nell was not mean, aggravated, angry, yelling, fussing. She was not. So girl, stop lying. Anyway, but she was upset because I got Chris' face, and I don't think I got Chris' face either. Well, why you did? You have a tendency to talk to other men as if they're your husband, and I'm like, if I was Marcel, I would say, wife, stop doing that, because you're gonna cause me to end up having a fight with my goddamn body if you are always getting a little bit drunk and get up in his face. Because if somebody step back to you, I have to then step in. You know what I'm saying? So you need to stop thinking that you can talk to other men how you can talk to me. You can yell at me if you want. You can yell at me, fuss at me. I'm your husband. You can't do that to the other men. So she needs to stop. Well, I gotta be more transparent. I don't know how much more. I don't know what you told me. Girl, every time she just say that Nell wants me to be more transparent, but I don't know why. You lying. Because you already said to us, you and Marcel had issues based on the rumors, which I never have discussed on the show. So to me, that's a part of being more transparent. Period. Okay, that don't mean say yes. Marcel fucked 5 women on a Tuesday, and I forgave him. Me this when someone told me my husband cheated, I said, "Well, did he cheat?" When someone said my husband was in Atlanta, naked in the bed with some lady, and I was back, I said, "What is it?" You know, because you having questions can be addressed, but I don't believe that be. So she then brought up how it's harder for her with Nell and Tisha, no, Nell and Trisha, because they're getting to know them, and with her, Kimmy and Daphne, it's easier because I know them; they're my friends. And when he said, "Well, Daphne is everybody's friend," okay, so be careful because she's friendly, and I said, "What does that mean?" At first, I thought it's trying to be slick on her whore. She messed with Moses, who was married or whatever. she was with Lance. She then was with Lance's cousin or Lance's god brother, whatever. Allegedly, she messed around with Ken, Friend, and Will. So I'm like, is he trying to say that she's friendly in a way of she is connected to a lot of the men on the show? But no, he said, she cool Martell. So Tisha thought she did say to us, to me and Kimmy, that she's doing Martell wrong. So like that's who has the loyalty. And he said, well, right. A friend to everyone is a friend to no one. So just be careful what you say to her. And I think that was it's crazy that out of this whole cast, Marceau is likable now. Like he gives sound responses to stuff. He makes sense because him saying like, look, she can be cool with whoever she wants to be cool with. However, she's everyone's friend. So if she's friends with someone that we're at odds with, is she really our friend? You know what I'm saying? Be careful what you tell her, because again, I feel that Daphne took things back to Martell that Mel has said, because she's more loyal to Martell. So I'm like, you can't trust that. No one trusts that. Nell, Chris, Lance, Marceau. I don't think Kimmy do either. Okay, but she can be cool with what she wants to do. But if she see Martell speaking on me and Tisha, she could shut it down, but she don't, because why? She's cool with him. So just be careful what you tell her, because folks already think it's issues here or whatever. So you don't want her to have a little bit of information to get back to Martell, like allow me, and make up something new. Okay? And she just said, the only way the group can move forward, and we have to stop talking about each other's marriages or whatever, and the girl, no, miss me with that bullshit. Tisha and Kimmy cannot say now we should have marriages and kids off limits. Look, any kid that is 17 or younger should be off limits. Once your kid 18 and an adult little bit, they might get mentioned if they put their foot in the ring. Okay, I don't feel like marriages should be off limits, because the show is called Love and Marriage Huntsville, and if y'all want to discuss shit, someone has to. So as much as y'all have went after Mel and Martell's marriage in the past, you can't now want shit off the cuff. It's like, it's enough for me, dog, at all. But yeah, Marceau saying, child, don't you trust that damn bitch. Don't you trust Destiny's ass. She's a snake in the grass. It was a quick scene with Nell and Chris. When Chris talked about he met Lance, and the conversation came about Destiny. Okay, I don't feel like Destiny is a main character. I feel like she is like the Joker of the season. They're using her when they can, because what else are they going to discuss? And I feel like, is there a sound issue again? Let me listen. Is there a sound issue? I don't know what YouTube is doing, but sometimes there's been a YouTube glitch of the sound. Let me reset my sound. But y'all take one less second. Like the video. Give me a second. Okay, I just unplugged my mic and came back. Cause y'all know I'm knowing. Cause I don't ever hear the sound issue until y'all tell me something. Okay, but here we are. I'll be trying my best to not, what I'm saying, I'm like, I don't know, I might, and it better not be as expensive as my phone. But again, we here and whatnot. I'm kind of not a static nobody around there. Wait a minute. But yeah, but again, Chris and Nell discussing Destiny and Lance. Look, Nell, like, look, I don't feel like Lance owed Destiny any kind of explanation. When she said, look, they didn't have sex, they were not exclusive. I'm saying, you know, Lance is the man who needs his needs met and got him back somewhere else. So he don't owe her shit. Why that is horribly wrong to say, it's also factual. You know what I'm saying? I kept saying before, I say, if they never had sex, if they were not exclusive, if they were just like, you know what I'm saying, kicking it a little bit and not in any real way, it may have felt like it was in her business. They may not have been on that level of talking. You know what I'm saying? So I get her in that aspect, but her, like, my mama always told me that if men have needs, and if you don't meet them needs, they will go find someone else who will. So her point was Destiny had to know, if y'all ain't fucking, he fucking somebody. Now that don't mean he don't get somebody pregnant, and don't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But a part of me feel like they fucked, and that's why she's upset. That's the only way it makes any sense. It don't make no sense if y'all didn't do it and you upset he got someone pregnant. Because, girl, if we're not banging and we're not in any kind of exclusive dating, and even if y'all not exclusive, y'all are not in a for real dating stage, I can't get mad at what happens in your life because we're not checking in like that. Like if we talk every day, if we are in constant communication, and something as serious as a baby being on the way is not brought up to me, yes, I'm upset because we have that kind of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Friendship, whatever it is, you even if you're not my man, but if we are on a consistent conversational basis where I'm texting, calling, FaceTiming, seeing you, and you literally knock someone up, and I find out on social media, that would upset me. You know what I'm saying? But because she lies so much, and I mean Destiny, a part of me feel like they weren't really rocking like that. And because the world found out he had a baby, and she tried to use it as if we're kicking it, she felt stupid. She felt like she was a bit of a joke. And for that reason, she wanted to say, I can't believe Lan did it to me. And he like, but we weren't even together. You're not my girlfriend. So I agree that, you know what I'm saying, in that aspect, he don't owe her an explanation because it's child. But they're gonna talk next episode. They then bring up Tisha. You know, I talked to Tisha, whatever, and she got mad at me, and I got mad at her, and blah 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 blah. Okay, but she told me because the whole Martell thing, her man being cheating or whatever, she gets frustrated. So that's why she kind of got mad at me. Girl, bye. Beef was squashed, and we're gonna move on from that. Maurice and Martell. I said, child, the ball brothers, the buffoons and whatnot. I could not believe. Look, ball baffled bozos, what I call them. Okay, because I feel like Martell talks because he likes to confuse people. Maurice talks to hear himself talk. So to me, they both bald and they're baffled and they're bozos, and I don't like them at all. So they up here talking because Martell, you know, has done this interview with Cole Salt and over. And the fact that the women won't discuss the video when clearly Marcel and Maurice saw the interview. Can't no one tell me that Maurice and Marcel saw it, but Kimmy and Tisha didn't. So it's aggravating to me that when people ask, when Nell and or Tisha, no, when Nell or Trisha or Desi ask about it, Tisha and Kimmy try to play, I don't want to discuss it. I don't know. But our husbands are having full-fledged conversations around it. So what's the point of avoiding the women talking about it? I'm confused. Okay. So Martell get a thing all the time. Martell, oh, I'm going with co-star now. We gonna be together a little bit. I'm trying to maybe get serious with her. Okay. I'm gonna take my time and make sure it's right. Okay. I'm not gonna marry her tomorrow because you have to make sure things are in the right order before you take the next step in it. I said, hold on. You want us to believe that you're taking things slow with co-star because you want shit to be in order. But you were married with 3 kids at the time. Remember, when he got with Coulthard, they had 3 kids. They had the 4th. So you would cheat on your wife with Coulthard and had a 5-year-long affair. Still ain't married Coulthard because you think she's not worthy yet. You're stupid. Even though Mel divorced you years ago, what are you waiting for? What is going on? So even Martell making this, because every time we see him with Destiny, we see him with Destiny, his mama. Now, what's my name? Now Maurice. He always wants to mention him and Coulthard, and now it's their name. We don't believe you. She's also a piece of his storyline. So Maurice brings up the video. Okay, the video, the interview, whatever. I'm concerned about you, your mental health. Okay, after you played the villain for so long, that you became a villain. I'm like, he's always been a villain. God is not his prey. Okay, that you out here taking shots at everybody, whatever, and I'm getting caught up in your shit, Marceau, me, and blah 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 blah. Now, Maurice trying to say, well, I guess you know, for so long you were getting shots thrown at you. For so long you were getting all these hits, coming at you, and so you got used to all of that, and you became that. Well, I am tired of the negativity. I don't like the negativity. And at first I wasn't fighting back to Tisha and Marcel, okay? But they kept coming at me, so I had to retaliate, okay? And I was saying, I gave a little warning shot, and I said, hey, I'm gonna put this out in a day or 2 or a week, and I thought that they would call me, squash it, so I would not have to put it out. But they didn't do this, I put it out. So I'm gonna say this, and this is the only time I would ever give an itty bitty ounce of credit to Martell. Martell put out that interview between him, Cole, no girl, because Tisha called him gay on Carlos King's podcast. I think people ignore that fact that was a direct retaliation from what Tisha said. And I do think if Tisha would have called us, you know what, I was mad, I was pissed. You said shit on the show, and so because it was an interview right after the show, I said blah 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 blah. Okay, I didn't mean it and blah 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 blah. But I think because Tisha and Marcel kind of never backtracked that Martell is gay, it's always been rumored that he likes men. You know what I'm saying? I do feel like his point was, I'm gonna retaliate. So I don't like how they're not mentioning what Tisha called him gay and say like that. You know what I'm saying? And so Marcel retaliated and said, well, your husband was fucking a girl in Atlanta, whatever. So, but he said, I was trying to not put it out. I tried to give time between what Tisha said, me saying I had something to say, and they never said, hey, well, let's just kind of whatever and whatnot. So whatever. He also told Maurice, you won't even tell them chill out like you tell me. You come to me and lecture me, but do you do that to them? Did you ever say to Martell, to Marcel or Tisha, hey, maybe chill out. Maybe don't say this, don't say that. Maybe. And I'm like, but y'all all grown. Why are y'all all waiting for someone else to tell y'all what to do? Y'all not friends anymore. I think once Mel and once one of Martell's marriage broke up, and Martell became a true villain, the friendships were cracked, and they ignored the cracks. They all laughed at Mel's pain, and now that Mel has fully removed herself from the bullshit, they're all now having to deal with villain Martell. Y'all allow him to grow to this big bad wolf towards his ex-wife, and y'all never thought that once she leaves the kingdom, the big bad wolf will come and attack y'all, because he's always said he knew shit on y'all as well. So I'm my girl is kind of crazy. So when Martell then said, "Well, the reason the girl fuck on you as well, and why you call them stray bullets, was because at the reunion you looked at me funny when they asked me about my court shit." And I'm like, what does that even mean? Now, Maurice said, I thought to myself, well, I looked at you and say shit because as a lawyer, you should stop talking. I know your folks told you, Maurice, myself, stop talking. And he just won't. He said, yeah, they told me to shut up, and I didn't. He said, yeah, I had nothing to say because you should stop. It's going to be used against you. Okay? It will be used. Yeah. Tisha did say the men seen tapes too. So, she said stuff in that Carlos King interview that pissed him off. Okay. So Maurice finally says what happens in the DUI crash. Now, we have heard rumors about it or whatever, but at the reunion, he could not talk because it was still an ongoing case. However, the show came back. They still we should have had we should have seen a scene between Kimmy and Maurice discussing what happened. And a part of me feel like Maurice waiting to having a conversation with Martell about the DUI means him and Kimmy and whoever else sat and concocted a story to finally, make it seem as if this is what happened. Maurice said, me and Kimmy were together at Black. Okay. We left Black together. And Kimmy took me to my car, which was at the office. Okay. Me and Kimmy then left. At the same time, I went to see Cedric and JB. Kimmy went home. And it was around the corner or whatever. And about 30, she went home to bed. And then he says, then as I'm driving, I hit an animal. And Martell bust out laughing. You hit an animal? He said, yes, I hit an animal. I hit an animal. I've been hit a tree. I've been a pole. Child, Martell laughs was hilarious because it did sound dumb. You want us to believe that from the Black restaurant, y'all went to the office to get your car. Why not go home? Don't y'all own the building? To go from the club that y'all were partying at to pick up your car if you had been drinking or whatever. Kimmy then drove home. You went and met up with the Dark and JB, and I don't know who JB is. Then you drove home. You hit an animal, a tree, and a pole. But you wasn't drunk. And I know the rules of the road is you are never supposed to avoid hitting an animal because you cause more damage to your car or stuff. Maurice saying he hit an animal, a pole, and a tree to convince us that he wasn't drunk is stupid. Him trying to say it was not this big old long gap. Kimmy was the one who said she left you here, went to bed, and you went around him. Okay, Kimmy made that accusation. But again, I think that's why we have never seen Kim Maurice have a conversation about this. That's the reason why he's having this conversation with Martell, because Martell ain't gonna ask the good questions. But you hit, and who says I hit an animal? What kind of animal? A squirrel, a deer, a possum? a hippo. Who says I was driving, I had an animal, and Martell, you sound like my 9-year-old, okay? He said, did you kill the animal? He said, no, it ran off. So how you know you hit an animal? You hit an animal that ran off, that made you hit a pole in a tree. After drinking at the club all night, and there was video evidence of you drunk in the club with the people, and you want us to believe you were not. And Martell said, well, were you high or were you on something besides being drunk? I wasn't drunk. And my case was dismissed because the evidence matched what I said. No, this is my opinion. My opinion is Maurice declined to do a breathalyzer. Maurice declined to be blood tested. If you don't have, if you're not tested to see if you're drunk, and they assume you're drunk because you hit an animal, a pole, and a tree, you're arrested. DUI. If there's no blood alcohol level released, if there's no testing done, if there's no field sobriety test done, there's no evidence that you were drunk, even if you were. And there probably was proof that you did hit a pole, a tree, and an animal. However, that does not mean you were not drunk. Yes, Kimmy was like, I was in the bed, did not know where he was. Yes, he never said there was me and Kimmy were together the whole time. We were at the place together. We left the place together, but she dropped me out of my car. She went home. I went out home. What's the dark at? And JB. Where they at? So your response to the DUI situation wasn't you saying I did not go visit anyone besides my wife. I was not with anyone, blah, blah, blah. Your reply was, I hit an animal I didn't kill it. It ran away. And then I hit a pole in a tree. But I wasn't drunk. I wasn't high. I wasn't nothing else. I said, bitch, be gone. Because to me, it didn't fix. To me, I'm like, no, you was drunk. You were drunk. Yeah, the weird thing about it is when he got arrested, and when the Maurice Scott arrest, what do you want? When he was arrested, it was like, okay, this is mugshot and whatnot and blah, blah, blah. Once the case was dismissed, it was like never like a direct, let me see. Love and Huntsville Scott star, Maurice Scott received some news regarding the DUI case on November 15th. The state of Alabama issued a motion of Noel Proce. I can't pronounce it right. Let me see past it. He was arrested on Memorial Day weekends for DUI. Had a $5 bond on June 10th. His attorney mentioned the case was dismissed, and the motion claimed that Huntsville and they did not have. They claimed that Huntsville and the state of Alabama did not have enough evidence to charge him. They also claimed the instrument used to charge Maurice for DUI in the first place violated due to process of the law. So it wasn't that it didn't happen. It's just stuff attached to it didn't work out. Okay, they claimed, meaning Maurice and his lawyer claimed, the instrument used to charge him for DUI violated the process of law. Meaning, was he tested before being read his rights and whatever? But it wasn't as if they said he didn't do nothing. That ain't what happened. Like he makes it seem like, yeah, he didn't do nothing. So don't feel like, yeah, it was dismissed because they said, oh, there was no proof of drinking. No. What was used to say he was drunk, they're saying that wasn't legal. For whatever reason it was. So I'm like, you're fussing about, but you did it. I always say, people can be found not guilty of murder. It does not mean the body ain't dead. Okay, so you can be put on trial for murder, and the case can be dismissed. You can be found out guilty. That does not mean at all that it's not a dead body that's dead. You can be arrested for DUI and get off for the DUI. That does not mean that you were not drunk or under the influence of something. So, whatever. Okay. Anyway, Maurice said, "Hey, you're acting out, bro. Okay, you're out here acting out or whatever, and I'm concerned." And Martell said, "Well, I no longer give a fuck. Okay, don't lie on me, and I won't come back harder at you. Okay, Martell, all these M's, Marceau, and he should lie on me, so I don't care no more and whatnot." And Maurice said, "Well, I think the video that you did is a lie." He said most of the stuff was not true. What do you mean most of it? So what part is true? Like the fact that Maurice is like offering up itty bitty pieces of what part wasn't true? Which one? Okay. And Martell said bullshit. A bullshit. He said, look, you and Marceau fucked that lady. She didn't want to bang me, but I didn't bang her that night. Okay. And Maurice didn't want to. I'm gonna do a lawyer. I'm gonna question you. Okay. What color was the carpet? What color was the walls? Let me tell you this. I have had relations in many places. Okay. I have had shared experiences in many places. You hear me? And I don't remember the color of the walls from something that happened 10 years ago. I don't know, but it was a wall. It was a wall. Okay, so that's whatever. Now, if you'd asked him how long was we in the room for, maybe so. Him asking for the carpet color, the wall color, but he then said, "What does my dick look like?" I said, "No, what? Now why would you ask somebody?" No.
Nigga.
Who, girl?
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
If somebody asked me what my dick look like, I mean, yellow. It looks yellow. I was like, that's weird. Look, if your dick was an old girl, how would he know? That ain't no killer question. I may have no idea what your dick look like because you was banging an old girl. And I'm not focusing on your penis, sir. Okay. And he said, because my dick looks specific. I said, how specific does it look? I mean, it just, even if you have a large penis, okay, we've seen many big dicks around here. So, sir, unless your penis has a hook, a crook, and it's 4 different colors, and even then, I'm not staring at it. Look. I feel like even if you are in a room and you see somebody doing it, that doesn't really mean you can remember what they dick look like, because you may not have been really look at the penis. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like even asking that question is like you trying to say, so Martell be looking at me and dick all the time, like Martell, like Does Martell watch gay porn? Because are you going to say that he likes to look at penises? Is that what you're saying? And I'm like, man, I don't know. I wouldn't know either. Now I'm like, what it look like? Because he said, my dick looks, what is specific about it? Is it the length, the color? Is it disformed? Is he not circumcised? Is it heavily hooded? Is it the big head, little neck? Like, I'm just wondering what's going on. And even if Martell seen it, that may not have been his focus. You know what I'm saying? I wholeheartedly believe stuff happens when the men's on trips, because no one is denying stuff happened, because they Coleslaw was there. So for at least one person was around there, and I first asked Coleslaw. Well, I don't know if Coleslaw said she saw it, Maurice's penis. Maurice had to show it. I'm just saying. Because what's so specific, Maurice? It's probably hooded. He probably has a hooded, dark-skinned penis. So it looks different because of his skin tone. Okay? But it could be because he had so much sex as brown now. He also brought up how in the video you said at one point you were gambling, but then you said that you were there watching. So how you be gambling and watching? Well, I was gambling and I watched. I was gambling and then I watched. Okay. And I didn't pay the girl. I remember her from when it had happened or whatever. So I contacted her. Okay. So yeah, that's what it was. And then Martell said, okay, Maurice, what part of the story is a lie? Like, what part isn't true? Did Marceau not fire in the town? And Maurice said, I don't know what Marceau did. See, that right there, because to me, that means she was there. Because if you were there and Martell was there and Marceau was there, y'all all were there. And if he's saying, did Marceau not fire in? Why would Maurice not say, well, she wasn't even there? Like the fact that no one is denying the girl was there. That's my first point of, if someone told me my sibling did whatever, and if we are denying that it happened, I would be like, she was never there. So him saying, I don't know what Marceau did, to me means the girl was there. So that in itself means y'all lying. Because she wasn't there for no reason. Because let's say she was in town and she only fucked Martell. Why lie? The fact that no one said, Martell was smart. She was there and they know she was there. So they can't deny that. And me asking him, so did Marceau not out of town? I don't know what Marceau did. That right there is proof the girl was there and something happened. And your point is, I didn't do nothing to do with it. Okay, I don't know what Marceau did. I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't know. And Martell thinks, ain't you a lawyer? All day. Sue us. Okay? Sue us. If I am lying, then, sue us. And Maurice said, well, what would I get if I sued? And I'm like, bullshit. Maurice was suing bloggers for stories on social media saying they were not true. So you're gonna sue the blogger people, but you won't sue a person who knowingly lied on you on a whole thing. They went across the globe. You were actively suing bloggers, but you won't sue Martell. You won't sue Coleslaw. You won't sue old girl, because to me that means a part of it is true. And even though he's a villain, he's actually right. Because if I'm lying and if she lying, why have you not sued us? Because you sued other people. You were actively involved in a lawsuit with bloggers who had nothing. You get nothing from suing bloggers who have nothing, even if all you want is them to retract the statements. You don't want to sue Martell and all that because you know there's probably more to sue. So Martell was like, okay, trump card. If you're saying what I said, what she said ain't true, then sue us. Because you said we lying. If it did Marceau fly her in, I don't know what she did. What means she was there. Because he's a lawyer. As a lawyer, I would have said she wasn't ever there. I didn't see her. No. How can you fly in someone who wasn't there? So yeah, Maurice is a horrible lawyer. Okay, Maurice is a horrible. No, Maurice was. Maurice sued a few bloggers for a post they put about him and accused him of having a criminal past. Yeah, y'all know who she is. Y'all know exactly who she is. That's how he contacted her. That's probably also why Maurice is trying to deflect. That's also probably why Marceau is disengaging. It's like, I don't care. I'm not even going to engage because if I engage in the fight with him, who knows either whatever truth or lie Martell can come up with. Let's not have Martell do be lying. Martell absolutely has lied in the past. But this is something factual, at least that girl was there with them in Atlanta. Now, maybe she not fuck Marceau and Maurice, but she was there. Maybe all she did was strip. I don't know. But they were there with other women around the place, okay? Because
it was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie. She lied.
I'm saying somebody lying, but Maurice not saying she was never there. He don't know what Marceau did. It means he was there. She was there. It was all there. Lastly, there was a scene with Kimmy, Maurice, and Marcel because Maurice wanted to tell Marcel what the conversation with Martell was. Now, Maurice was like, talk to Martell, because I'm concerned with Martell's mental health. And Marcel said, fuck his mental health. Marcel really is on a tip of, I don't care. I don't care about his mental health. He said, fuck his mental health. I don't care. Okay. And I think the only reason Maurice cares is because Maurice knows, I think Maurice is trying to cover up a grenade. If we cover up Martell and to keep him on even playing field, he won't do more damage. Marcel like, look, if I just don't talk that motherfucker, he can't do shit. So he said fuck his mental health. I said, well, damn it. I felt that. Okay. Maurice said, look, Martell said he put me in the bed because he was upset with me looking some kind of way at the reunion. And Marcel made a good point saying, so if Martell is saying, oh girl gave her version of what happened, and why would he purposely put you in the video if you didn't do shit? Like, that's weird. Like, how can she say her truth, but then he said he added you in? Did he like tell it? He's like, I don't know. And I feel like that was a great point in trying to pinpoint that the girl lying or that Martell is trying to set up something. But again, did Maurice tell you that he said he didn't know if you paid for the girl to come there? Did you know that? Because if my brother said, I don't know what Marcel did, I'll be pissed. Like, nigga, why would you not that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Okay. So I told him, I asked what the girl paid. He said, no, I don't believe it. I then asked him how my dick looked. And the way that Kimmy and Marcel laughed, said, you do. And why would you do that? He said, my dick is, my anatomy has this. What does it look like? What does it look like? Kimmy, what Kimmy put in the comment section, she knows she's probably watching. What does Maurice's penis look like that's so specific that no one can forget it. Okay, so Marcel, like, look, if you watching having sex and it's people all in the room having sex and you're watching something, you looking at something, they're trying to still say Martell likes penis. Okay, in their own way, Maurice and a little bit Marceau is trying to allude to Martell likes watching dick. And I'm like, but do they know that because they've seen him watch theirs while they share women? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they've caught him watching gay porn. I don't know. I don't know. But both Maurice and Marceau, saying, well, ask Maurice how the dick look, means that y'all are trying to say, I don't know. Okay. But then say Martell comes up with these plans in his head, but it never quite worked out in real life because he doesn't think through or whatever. And Marceau being the most rational person in this is crazy to me. And he was like, you keep saying that you want to get Martell back to who he used to be. How he used to be this great, great person, blah, 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 blah. He said, but this is always who Martell has been. So you can have this thought process of, if I just talk them enough, if I have enough chats and speeches to Martell, it can get him back to this great, great person. And Martell, but he's never been this great, great person. He's always been, like this. Okay. He said, I said, bitch, what? He said, Martell has always been this way. However, the circumstances before did not bring it out. Now that he lost his family, who he is out. Because we've always known him to be this way. And again, because his Martell's venom was never really pointed at the Scotts until folks found out publicly that he was cheating on Mel. That's when he was like, if I'm going down, everyone's going down. Because don't forget, the Scotts knew Martell had been cheating before Mel found out. They had been around him and cold thought before Mel found out. So it's not as if they had no idea that he was this cheater, pumpkin eater. And so Kimmy then say, when he's a nice guy, Martell, when he's a nice guy, he's so nice. But when he's not nice, he's just not. Kimmy, shut up. Because to me, there is no in between. You're either a good person, a generally good person, or you're not. It's not that I'm gonna be a great person today and a horrible person tomorrow. No. Yeah, we are all human. We are flawed. We have bad days as well. However, there's a difference. Martell is a not a good person. And no one cared to address that because he wasn't their problem. And now he is. But he was a nice guy. He wasn't. What he did to Mel makes him incapable of being a nice guy. What he put her through, he can't be a nice guy. At all. You know what I'm saying? And so Marcel, look, I found out, I realized what makes Martell tick. He wants to fight. He wants the violence. And I'm not going to beat him up. I refuse to fight him. And I'm not going to give him it. And I think it's true. I think for years, Martell fought Mel. In marriage, in the separation, and the divorce, post-divorce, he's been fighting someone. He no longer has the access to Mel to fight her. He lost his sparring partner. And who's next in line? Well, it's y'all. So I do think Marcel is right in saying his tick is who is fighting somebody, being in off with somebody, and he now wants to fight me. I'm not gonna do it, and I don't think that's because I think Marcel knows it's not worth it. Even if Martell has no other facts about anything that Marcel did, I think Marcel just doesn't want to engage. I think it's done because it will only lead to one, more speculation, more rumors, Tisha being even more insecure, and it can really ruin his marriage. I think he knows there's no point in me fighting with Martell because he will never stop. If I just ignore him, it's fine. I can coexist with him on the same show because I don't have to, like, he don't have to film with Martell on any like one-on-one thing. Let me say it's always some group shit or whatever, and that's because Martell is at odds with everybody, even with Nell and Chris. So it's not as if Martell's gonna be at all these events. So I can coexist, but he wants a fight, and I refuse to give it to him. Okay, so what Marceau said, he said Kimmy and Maurice are both delusional when it comes to Martell. They're both batshit delusional when it comes to him. He said, but Kimmy has a better idea who Martell is because he said Maurice still think that Martell has a nice guy in him. But he said Martell has been batshit crazy for years. And I'm like, yeah, but no one cared. So if y'all would have tried to silence Martell and support Mel, he would have been gone. But y'all chose to allow him to run amok on that show, on social media, in the news, and the blogs, and all that. Y'all allowed Mel to be a casualty of war. And she left and said, fuck all y'all. And now y'all are left with the demon y'all created. When all y'all had to do was acknowledge Martell is batshit crazy. Once y'all saw all the stuff he was doing to Mel, had any of y'all just stop and see, you know what? He's going off the deep end. But no, they all chose to silently not care what Martell did to Mel. And then now y'all want, I guess, sympathy or grace because he's doing to y'all what he did to her. And now that y'all can't control him and can't keep him silent, and he's now off the leash, so he's a dog running wild, y'all want to try to tame him or say, hey, Martell, I'm concerned with you. I'm concerned. Oh my God, you okay? And Marcel was like, yeah, he's been crazy for years. But we know that. But no one cared. No one tried to stop the bullet train from crashing until now. And truth be told, ignoring Martell ain't gonna work. It isn't. Because he's gonna want to do something to have some kind of storyline. Because that's probably his only check. You know? So Maurice didn't say he wants to have a men's retreat. And I guess, brother, you won't come because I want to invite Martell. And he said, look, I'm going to come. I want to come. However, I am not having a conversation with a liar. I'm not going to do it. Okay? And Maurice, I just want everyone to be held accountable or whatever. And I think there just needs to. Marcel said, no. Me and Martell both are okay how things are. Neither one of us is going to take back what we said, and we're okay moving forward. That's our version of being accountable. And I think Martell and Marcel, neither one of them are going to say, you know, man, I'm sorry, I went too far. They went too far past that to try to say sorry now. And I think Marcel is at a point to where he's done with trying to fix the friendship. I think Marcel was at a point where he realizes me and this man is co-workers. We're both on the same show. I'm not going nowhere, and he probably ain't either. Because why? We need the Mel gone. Because let's be honest. If Mel is gone, let's say they remove Martell, so we can't even discuss all the crazy shit he said. What's left? What's left? Nothing. Maurice ain't discussing no fucking cases. Kimmy ain't discussing no houses, no cancer research, reform, remission, seminars. Marceau ain't been back to Scott Manor to put up more beams. Tisha still ain't got no goddamn office. Nell gonna fuck who she wants to. We don't like Trisha. Destiny is still faking like she's fucking around with Lance. Like, truth be told, if they weren't discussing what Martell said, how it made anybody feel, Tisha and Kimmy not being transparent about what Martell said, what else do we have? Nothing. So all of them are just holding on, hoping and praying and wishing that Martell shoots kindlier shots, that Martell hopefully will want to have scenes where they can reconnect with each other, okay? Or they all get together and Martell throws a bomb and then that's discussed to deflect away from why ain't Marceau built Tisha's goddamn office? Why hasn't Kimmy and Maurice discussed the DUI? Why wander around here? Who are the parents at Nail Daycare? Oh, Lance baby mama. Okay, that's what I have here. Lance baby mama. So when Nail and Chris, let's go back to Nail and Chris. So Nail was on Carlos King's podcast on last Monday. Our question before was like, Lance had his baby. Where's the mama? And Nail sent her on the interview. She said that there is Lance has a temporary, like, full custody right now. The mom, like, does not want to be mentioned, so they can't discuss the mom, like, legally. So that's not even Nail and Chris and them being like not being transparent. They legally cannot discuss the mama because it's an ongoing case. And I believe Nail is like listed as like a safe haven or whatnot for the baby, and that's why when the baby first came home, Chris was living at Nail and them house. So there's some legal something going on with the mama that can't be discussed yet. So that's all I know. Okay. But again, Chris and Nail, yeah, they have long-term storylines because if whatever's going on with Lance and that baby is situated, if the mama wants to then be discussed and come on the show, that's something. Because that's also something that Chris and they'll deal with. Even with Kimmy, Maurice, and Jalen, like they're an adult. Like, what's going on around there? You know what I'm saying? So there's other things for them to discuss. They just won't do it. But at the end of the day, I'm like,
shut your mouth. Okay?
Because Maurice, please stop trying to save Martell. Please stop it. Okay? We don't want it. Tisha and Marceau, if Marceau cheated and you don't care, fine. Okay? If Marceau said it ain't my baby, but I'm staying, whatever it may be, okay? Leave it be. Okay? Maurice and Martell are going to keep talking shots at each other. Okay? We still want to know, what does Maurice's penis look like? Anyway, I am done. Okay, I am done. Why did they say that last episode? I feel like they couldn't. The only reason Nail, because I feel like they're not supposed to discuss the mama at all. And Carlos said on his podcast, he was like, Nail will say what they're allowed to say. And it's some kind of custody something. I think while filming, they just chose to not discuss her at all. because Nell did not even give me any details about it. We just know they can't discuss her just yet. So I feel like they may think that later on, maybe next season they can get more into it, but right now they just couldn't. So yeah, and they probably did not, or they probably did say stuff that they couldn't use. You know what I'm saying? They was editing. Okay. Anyway, y'all, I'm happy y'all was around here, child. I will be live tomorrow. I'm too tired today to do a gotcha chat because y'all was part of this weekend. But I will talk to y'all tomorrow. Y'all make sure to like and subscribe. Okay. I will forever be putting on subscriber only chats. So that way, if you ain't no subscriber, you don't have a right to talk. Okay. You just don't. I may put up a premiere tomorrow. I may premiere a gotcha chat tomorrow morning at like 11. We shall see. I don't know. But I know I'm too tired to do another live today. But y'all don't like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. I gotta go. Okay. But good times have all. Bye.